we got us a specialty car in the shop today. It's called a Polaris. It's called a Slingshot. My friend Pete's going to give you his description of what this thing is really all about, because I'm going to tell you something, it's really not about nothing but a waste of fucking money. And when I say money, I'm talking $23,000 plus to own one of these bastards. Let's take a look at it, and then we're going to go over the situation. I'm going to give you a nice juicy review on it and what I think about it, and if you should actually spend $23,000 fucking dollars for one of these things just to go out and enjoy yourself on the highways and byways of America.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
See what we got here, Don? Have you ever been in one of these?
No, I haven't.
Okay, would you like to take a little test drive when we get her all together?
No, thank you.
You don't want to? It's pretty fun, actually.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they call it the Slingshot. So anyway, what we got here, we got a 2015 Slingshot. The 2016 is the exact identical same thing. And it's a beautiful little ride. It's a ride that says I'm a three-wheeler, but I have basically a semi-car engine inside it, and it's basically a three-wheel car. Are you listening to what I'm saying here, bud? Now you can get these in different options. You can get them turbocharged, you can get big engine, small engine, high performance, standard performance, this, that, and the other. This one is the fully loaded model. It's got the turbocharged engine in it. Very, very quick and fast on the stick. It's got a, I believe, 5-speed transmission. Yes, it is a 5-speed standard transmission. It's got the touchscreen screen, as you can see right there. It drives just like a car, handles like a little sports car. And a lot of people would look at this and say, hey, this is a fun little item to have. I'm sorry, did I mention the LED lighting that we got going on here? I don't think I did. But this is the real story of your $23,000 Slingshot. If we look real close over here, we got Michigan Will working on it. And what Will is doing, he is actually taking this piece off, and he's also going to have to take this piece off. I want you to pay close attention. This is wrapped. Now, if it wasn't wrapped, it would be red, but look real close right here to this piece right here, that the red paint. Yeah, it's fucked up. Now, how do you think that little accident happened, Don?
Bumped in, just ran too forward and bumped into something.
It was in a trailer. One of the tie downs came off the trailer, and it bumped into the trailer door. I would say it was like a mild fucking, not even a 1 mile an hour bump. And the front bumper got crushed in. All right? The front bumper and the grill got crushed. We're going to look at those in a minute. And we have to replace the bumper bar and the bumper grill. Now, the grill goes on the bottom of it, and then, of course, behind that is a rebar that holds all this stuff together. Because we also got these two panels that go on it as well. And those were actually dented and scratched, and we have to have those redone as well. Come on over here, Don. I want to show you this real quick. This is our rebar. This is your bumper. Can you lift that up and tell everybody how heavy that is? Can you go ahead and tell us how heavy that bumper is?
2.5 pounds?
I wouldn't even say it's 2.5 pounds. I'd say it's more like 2.5 ounces.
Oh, yeah?
All right, very, very thin, very cheap, inexpensive metal. Look at the bracket on this. This is supposed to be straight. Do you see that?
Sure.
Look how cheap and inexpensive. It looks like sheet metal on there.
Yeah.
Okay? This bracket here is bent, of course. We got this bracket that's bent, and this is probably the most strongest bracket on the whole thing. All right? And then, of course, this bracket here, it's bent to shit. This little bar right here, how much do you think that bar is?
God, based on what you
Take a guess.
$600.
You were close. It's close to 480 bucks.
I know it's out.
For that little ridiculous piece there. Now, watch this. From that getting hit, also messed up our black cover. Okay, because look where the cover got messed up right here. See that scratch?
Yeah,
Okay, so anybody that owns one of these, they want to keep it in new condition, am I right?
sure.
This cover, look right here. Here's another fucked up situation. Okay, and that was just from bumping into the door. Do you see that?
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah.
All right, this cover, let me go ahead and say it here. This cover and this bar, total cost is what? Take a guess.
An arm and a leg, yeah.
$1,200 fucking dollars.
Wow.
$1,200 for.
That's not counting those.
That's not counting those, but we got to get those rewrapped because this car was wrapped. $1,200 fucking dollars for a piece of plastic and a piece of tubing that's not even a 1/16 of an inch thick, Don. Look how that's bent. It's flattened out and bent.
Sure.
Okay. Would you say that this is a $23,000 vehicle that you would feel safe in to drive down the road and hopefully not wreck it
Wow.
and come out alive?
Absolutely not.
Not at all, okay? Let's get Michigan's Will situation on it and see what he thinks about the fucking deal of the Slingshot. What are you thinking, guy?
It was definitely not engineered to be worked on.
Okay, do you think that this is a reputable vehicle that somebody should spend $23,000 on? We're not talking interest rates and taxes, titles, and license. To drive something down the road, this vehicle right here.
I understand they made themselves their own market, but no, they didn't market it to me.
Uh-huh.
I don't have $23,000 for a Roadster.
Is it worth $23,000 seeing how inexpensive and cheap that it's made and not being a safe vehicle at all?
Compared to a Mazda Miata, it's about in the same category. But for $23,000, I don't have that kind of money to throw at something.
Okay, we know you don't have the money, Will. We're talking about everybody else.
I guess if you think...
Would it be worth the rich guy out there that has $23,000 to spend his money on this thing just so he can say, look what I got?
The front brakes aren't that great for the money now.
Okay, so now we got bad brake system. What's going on with the brakes?
As Dylan was driving it, he was just, man, these brakes are to the floor. With 3,000...
Smashing them to the floor.
With 3,000 miles, and that's crappy of stopping, I would say. Bad design.
Okay, is it quick and responsive when driving it?
Yeah, it's fast enough.
Yeah, so it's a real zippy little ride, but other than that, it's really not worth the situation of spending $23,000, am I correct?
Not underneath. It looks on top, but not underneath. It runs, but it doesn't go for...
It's a plastic car with sheet metal frame design and plastic fiberglass frames and everything else. Now you're trying to get this panel off right here,
I gotta unhook
and
these
it looks
next.
like you got to go through some intricate situations just to, it looks like you got to take the whole front end apart just to take one screw out.
The screws are already out, but now I gotta undo these 3 plastic clips from the plastic to plastic, which is good luck not breaking either piece.
So working on this thing is basically a nightmare as well. So if you wreck the front end, you're pretty much screwed.
Oh yeah,
So it's really not worth $23,000 in your opinion.
absolutely.
Being a high performance, high millennium type situation that says this car is actually a piece of shit.
I could see 12 to 14.
Right. Between a 1 and 10, what would your rating be? 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest.
4.
I was going to say around 4, maybe a low 3.575 at that. So my suggestion is, if you are interested in owning one of these, make sure you know your P's and Q's, especially on the front end of it, because the front end is very flimsy, very dangerous, and is not a safe vehicle to drive at all. I wouldn't even want to drive this without a motorcycle helmet. Would you, Will?
I just went for a ride with it, and I was kind of scared.
I would be afraid to drive this. Being the 3-wheeler vehicle it is, I'd be afraid that this thing would actually tip over, possibly if you got in a tight situation and had to really doing some maneuvering at a high speed, because these type of situations you have here, Don, this is a speed demon. You're not going to get in it and drive around like Grandpa on a Sunday morning.
Now you want to show it off.
Okay, this is a type of machine that says I want to get in it and I want to go fast because that's what it's made for. Look at the name, Slingshot.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? Slingshot, okay? I'm saying that this vehicle needs to be passed up. Don't buy it. It's not worth the money. This one here is actually for sale. The owner bought it. Impulse buy is all this thing is. It's an impulse buy, and once you get it, you are not going to be happy with it. Am I right, Will?
This does have to come up.
What does?
Center section.
Okay, we're not taking that off then.
These are-
Put it all back together.
They're hooked underneath.
Okay, that's fucking great.
This is hooked in there.
Put it all back together. We'll take it over to the wrap shop. It's a thumbs down situation. You can't even work on the thing.
No.
Just to take panels off, you got to take the whole car apart to take one panel off. Can you put the headlight back on, Will, so we can get this bitch out of here?
I can get this piece off to get that out, but...
But we don't want to do that.
Okay.
Okay, put it all back together. We're wasting time and money here, guy.
Got it.
All right. Okay, Don just basically said it all in a couple words. A glorified trailer queen. That's basically what it is. Something that you put on your trailer. Maybe go out to the national park, let's say, for instance. Maybe go out to somewhere where you can enjoy the scenery and drive around and look beautiful in it as you're driving it. As far as a vehicle that you would say, I want to drive this thing to work and go home and go grocery shopping, this, that, and the other. No, it's not even rated as that. I would give this a thumbs down immediately, and the reason I would actually give it a thumbs down is because it's a dangerous vehicle to drive. It's not well, what would you say, engineered? It's not a well-engineered vehicle, and the vehicle itself is an unsafe machine to actually drive. So always remember, when you're looking at that Slingshot, remember this picture right here, all right? Over $1,000 fucking for a piece of plastic and a fucking tube that they're calling a bumper.
Screws to pull that piece off. This piece is covering that over too. What a joke.
Okay, so it's like layered on top of each other.
This was not
You got to take that off. You got to take that off. That off. That off.
It's all segments.
It's like a domino effect.
That separate piece from this piece, from this piece, from that piece to that piece.
Son of a bitch,
There's like
dude.
40 pieces of this front.
I say go ahead and bolt that headlight back on there. Let's get it all together, and we'll have to take it to the wrap shop. The whole thing. The whole fucking thing. What a fucking.
Did you
they
buy
do that
this
on
from
the
a
car?
Polaris dealer?
I don't know where he got it. Look, it's coming off. What's going on?
Can they even do that on the car?
Yeah, this was done on the car, dude. Go ahead. Pop it all back together. We got to go here, guy.
I saw one of these Saturday at a car show in Capel. Just walked by it.
Didn't even look at it. I'm done.
Didn't even look at it.
Huh.
They don't do anything to me.
It's a rich man's toy is all it is. A tinker toy operation. A very expensive tinker toy operation.
Watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.